huge rift opens in Africa, leading to the creation of a new ocean. It all started in 2005, when a 60 kilometers long canyon opened up in the middle of Ethiopia's Afar Desert. Many say that a new ocean is forming in this area. The phenomenon is known and has already been studied since the 1970s. But what brought this story back is the formation of a fault. It is very strange that the area is changing so quickly, but there is a good reason for this. The crack opened within a few days and was up to 6 meters wide. The length of the entire canyon spans 56 kilometers and was estimated to hold about 2 billion cubic meters, enough to fill millions of Olympic swimming pools. This phenomenon is caused after a long process, and the formation of the crack took a few months. Perhaps it may not be visible at first, but if you pay close attention, you can see the unusual shapes in the landscape. These plates move away from each other. Tectonic plates are large pieces of rock that make up the lithosphere, the outermost layer of the Earth in which life exists, or as some call it, the Earth's crust. Volcanoes like Dabahu show the best way the Earth's crust and such movements are visible after millions of years. Since the lithosphere is a solid shell, these plates can move beneath the Earth's surface. Several of these geological phenomena are very common today. On the internet, there are various sites that discover their secrets. For example, when two adjacent plates move past each other, they can cause earthquakes. Volcanic eruptions are also a phenomenon based on these plates. The greatest frequency is at the bottom of the ocean, where it is not particularly visible. Changes on land happen too slowly to be noticed without scientific research. These phenomena can only be observed with thermal cameras and robotic submarines. To observe these phenomena, one has to go very deep into the cracks. The effort is very difficult to work in geological areas under billions of cubic meters of salt water, and is why humanity has difficulty gathering information. If you think about the origin of the Mediterranean, which was land during the last ice age, you can imagine that the Mediterranean was flooded with water within a few months. There is no exact process for creating a new ocean, and we must admit that we do not yet have all the knowledge. 300 million years ago, the continents and oceans, as we know them today, did not exist. There was only one continent called Pangaea, connected only by one ocean called Panthalassa. 200 million years ago, Pangaea was starting to split and create separate oceans. In addition, the land may have had continents that joined and separated during the 3.5 billion years of Earth's existence. Only by carefully researching the flora and fauna of various regions, it became possible for scientists to collect some information. There is no better measure of time on Earth than the distance between coastlines and the speed at which tectonic plates move. However, the activity of the tectonic plates is one of the main reasons for the creation of this huge rift. We must understand that the volcanic activity is very high, and so no one can predict what will happen in the future. There has been much debate among scientists about what exactly is happening in the Ethiopian desert and what might happen. Most scientists agree and believe that this process under this particular crack has many similarities with phenomena found at the bottom of the planet's oceans. Our studies show that cracks in the seabed can grow due to intense volcanic activity, causing massive and sudden rupture of surface areas. This phenomenon can be exacerbated by plate movements near the fault. A team of scientists from the University of Addis Ababa has thoroughly studied the history of seismicity in this region. Led by Atale Ayel, they discovered a series of clues that they believe lead to a volcanic dam at the start of the canyon. This volcanic dam is capable of generating a series of eruptions. This is not enough to make it an ocean, But in this particular case, there are several factors. The gorge is located in an area also known as the Afar Triangle or the Afar Depression. The area is also known as Danakil or Dankali. This area is located between the Great Rift Valley, the Red Sea, and the Gulf of Aden. In the Afar Triangle is the lowest point in Africa. Lake Assol in Djibouti is 155 meters below sea level. The Afar Desert in northern Ethiopia is also a point where two large plates meet, African and Arabic. Today it is not a good area, while there are many discoveries by paleontologists. The place has changed under the volcanic activity, and it is very difficult for anyone to live. It is an area of 4,000 square kilometers in the eastern part of Ethiopia, which extends into other countries. The process of separating the two large plates has been going on for some time. It is estimated to be around 30 million years old. It happens slowly and at about 2.5 chem per year. This created the Red Sea and the nearly 300 km long Afar Triangle. It is only a matter of time before the Red Sea floods Ethiopia and helps create a new ocean. There are quite a few problems in this area. Seismologists from the University of Bristol and members of research teams from the Afar region have carried out numerous studies. They know all about seismic activity in the area. The conclusions seem obvious, given the low level above sea level in the area. Based on these studies, it can be argued that the only thing separating the Afar Triangle from the water is a small point of land, as shown in the photo. Once this opens up and the canyon widens, then all areas will be below the surface of the sea, creating a new and large volume of water. A change of such geographic magnitude will be visible even from space. Ethiopia is not the only East African country where major rifts are beginning to form. These holes can cause major problems for local communities. If the gorge closes off the main access to the area, commercial activities and food production could come to an abrupt halt. In early 2018, a new rift opened in Kenya, just 97 kilometers from the country's capital, Nairobi. This canyon is about 15 meters deep and up to 20 meters wide. The most critical question is this: what could have caused this rift to form? The displacement of some plate or something else? While some members of the scientific community continue to debate the exact causes of the recent rift formation in southwest Kenya, it continues to grow bit by bit over time. Every day, some small disasters happen on the ground, and that is why there is so much discussion in geology labs. However, it will take a long time for a visible break in the ground to form and new canyons and mountain ranges to form. Also, the creation of a new ocean is still a long way off. What everyone agrees on is the importance and role of these new faults. After the first scientific dilemmas about what exactly is happening in the Ethiopian desert, some scientists have come to an agreement. The data showed that the area below sea level is likely to flood more quickly. This is due to volcanic activity and the effects of dams. Other researchers believe differently and consider that it will take millions of years for the area to flood. However, what they all agree on are the similarities the area has with what happens on the ocean floor. Studies have shown that cracks can form on the ocean floors located at the edges of tectonic plates, always in conjunction with volcanic activity. This is exactly what is happening in Ethiopia. The question that exists today is this: how did this rift that separates the continents come about? What are plate movements, and how are they affected? What other natural phenomena occur beneath the Earth's crust? It all started from the Dabahu volcano located in the Afar Desert. When it erupted, it spewed out almost 2.5 trillion liters of hot lava. This lava entered between the plates and began to push them. This is how the canyon we see today was created. All that Dabahu volcano lava could easily fill 1 million Olympic swimming pools. A phenomenon as powerful and unpredictable as the eruption of a volcano can change the future of a geographical area forever. However, it will be years before there is a clear visual image of this from space due to its slow formation time. The large African plate cannot be considered a single entity. What about Ethiopia and the rest of East Africa? There's an area between Somalia and Nubia that is right in the middle of the rift. Scientists predict even greater changes between the plates that could lead to Africa splitting in two. After many studies, scientists have reached the same inescapable conclusion about the African continent. We are particularly interested in the northernmost part. Imagine what Africa would look like without a piece of its northeastern territory. How far could this change go? According to scientists of the British Royal Society, who are following very closely what is happening in the Afar region of Ethiopia, but also in the rest of the East African Valley, the division of the continent is inevitable. When the time comes, Afar in the north will be flooded by the Red Sea. The water will open to the south, and a new ocean will be born. Geological timelines are very difficult to visualize, especially when we know the average human lifespan. The geological time climates are very different, where the reference points are all scientific and analyzed in laboratories. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and click the notification bell for more amazing stories. Cindy Ebinger is a well-known professor of environmental sciences at the University of Rochester. He explains that volcanic activity greatly affects the movement of tectonic plates and the formation of cracks in the ground. After much discussion, Cindy Ebinger estimates that the creation and formation of a new ocean can take anywhere from 100,000 to 1,000,000 years. It is located in southern Siberia between the Irkutsk region and the Republic of Buryatia. Lake Baikal offers an incredible view of tectonic activity. This lake is one of the most famous, and its name comes from the Turkish language meaning sacred lake. It is also nicknamed the Pearl of Russia because of its crystal clear waters. It is located at an altitude of 450 meters and is the lake that has the most fresh water in the world. Several factors explain why lakes have very rare characteristics. Sometimes it has strong currents, resulting in waves that can reach up to 6 meters. Because of the clear water, the ice that forms in winter is translucent. About 3,700 different species of plants and animals live in Lake Baikal. About 75% to 80% are found nowhere else on the planet. Due to constant geological activity, the lake is never calm, and that is so deep. In scientific circles, Lake Baikal is a reference point for very important studies concerning global climate change. Due to its ecological richness, it has been included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. It is home to a huge variety of species, and many scientists find their answers there. Also, it is the ideal place for diving due to its great depth. Deborah Hutchinson is about the first chapter of the formation of the continents and the creation of new oceans, especially the Atlantic. The area is not habitable by humans due to the year-round climate. The lake is full of melting ice, but it has been damaged by tourists, researchers. Without the study of these geological zones, the movement of tectonic plates could not be explained. They are located in vast areas and offer a variety of landscapes, very rare, as well as a mixture of flora and fauna that cannot be found elsewhere. The deepest and possibly most impressive rift valleys are located offshore, such as in the mid-Atlantic and eastern Pacific. Also, the land has some active rift valleys. All these places are points of study and tourism. Researchers hope, with the help of technology, to study them better to expand their understanding. Finding bonds through beautiful tales. Thank you for watching.